I want a house tour.
I've heard a lot of lawyers say it's not a good idea.
But I haven't done anything wrong.
Well, what should I do then?
Now it's time to learn.
Top 5 mistakes to avoid as a home buyer. Let's just cut to the chase. A lot of you are trying to buy a house and you have absolutely no clue where to start. If you're watching this video and you're expecting the traditional don't buy a house before you get pre-approved, while that is very correct, I'm not going to get into that angle of being approved, but I'm going to tell you what we see every single day from people that have not bought a house before, especially, and also some mistakes from people that are veterans in home purchase. And sometimes as a realtor I go, wait, why do people make these mistakes over and over and over again? What is the drive to struggle so much when buying a house? Which probably drive is not the best word. However, let's dive into what both a first-time home buyer and also a veteran home buyer could go through, and top 5 mistakes that you shouldn't be doing if you are looking to purchase a house. Let's start. Number 1 of the biggest mistakes ever is the fact that a lot of people make an emotional decision or tend to look only at that emotional decision. So you fall in love with the kitchen and that's all you think about. Please do not make an emotional decision. While I understand we all love a beautiful kitchen, we all want that amazing yard, look at everything, right, from a big picture. Is this house what I need? Is this in my budget? Is this in the location that I want it to be? Does this meet all of my criteria? How do I feel about maybe the house being old? Because again, you need to check all of the check boxes. This is a huge financial move. So while emotions are extremely important, I just want you to not make the decision of buying that particular home on a small factor, right, or a couple of small factors, or do not let yourself be influenced by family and friends that don't actually have a really good idea of what's happening with you in your personal life. And mistake number 2, do not try to find the perfect home. Now I know that maybe your friends have bought this amazing home a couple of years ago that has the biggest island and the yard and a basement and everything that you want right now, but remember, pricing has increased tremendously in the last years. So go for what is happening with you and your family at the moment. In other words, what I would recommend is making a list with top 5 priorities. We actually ask all of our clients to make this list and say this: I need a first floor master, I need these schools, I need this location, I may need a pool or maybe a gated community, I would love to be close to this mall, or whatever your priorities are very important. So stick with your priorities. Whenever we look at a home together, I'm going to definitely bring you back to reality, but don't try to look for a perfect home that might never exist, unless of course we're going to be on your side and help you build a custom home. And mistake number 3, make sure you check the neighborhood. A lot of people don't actually drive by the neighborhoods. They're just looking at homes. You guys, especially if you're relocating to North Carolina, you want to make sure that you check the neighborhoods before buying the house. You can get into this amazing home and hate the neighborhood that you are in. So, as realtors, we're going to help you. That's why we do all these videos, so you can get a great idea of what the neighborhood looks like. Let me tell you a quick story. I had someone that I known for many, many years, and this was before we became realtors 10 plus years ago. And she bought a house very far away, and then she kept on coming back where we were located. And I said, why are you coming here to the park? And she said, you know what? I have this amazing home, and I hate my neighborhood, so I actually want to relocate. So please do not make the mistake of buying a house and not checking out the neighborhood and the ambiance. And mistake number 4, not knowing how much money do you actually need to buy a house. Guys, you're going shopping and you're going to buy a car or whatever. You're going to the grocery store and you know how much money you need. And then you start looking at homes. This home is so beautiful, and you have absolutely no clue how much money you can actually bring to the closing table. Remember, we have a due diligence fee, we have earnest money fees, we have all these upfront fees that you need to bring to the table before you close on the house, and then you have the closing costs, right? So let's just say you're getting a loan, a conventional loan. You might want to put down 5%, 3%, 20%, and all these other fees. Then you have the closing costs, you have the attorney fees, you have the taxes, you have the insurance, you have the inspections, you have the appraisal. I mean, again, we have a video that we are going to put right there for you so you can see the real costs of getting a home. So we have an interview with a lender. It breaks down every single thing that you need to know, especially for North Carolina. So do not make the mistake of not knowing how much money you need to bring to the table before even starting to look for a house. And mistake number 5, drum roll, money again. Money. Not knowing how much money you need to bring to the closing table is a big one. But wanting to buy a house and looking at a home based on how much you qualify for, I don't think a lot of people talk about that. So let me give you a scenario. Let me just say that you make $100,000 per year, and that is gross, right? And you go to the lender, they're discussing how much you made, and they're giving you a pre-qual letter. Of course, they're looking at your debt to income ratios, and they're looking at your general situation. But the pre-qual letter is going to be based on that gross amount, okay? So a lot of people make that mistake and say, well, we actually afford to buy a $750,000 home, we're fine. But please, look at how much money you actually stay with. Then look at all of your expenses and be very conservative with your money. Buying a house is a financial investment, and you want to make sure you're going to buy a house that you can easily afford. Then you want to go on a vacation, you want to have a life, and also you do not want to empty your reserves. You want to make sure you're going to keep some money in your account, you guys, because what if something happens? What if you lose your job? What if, God forbid, something happens from a health perspective? So you don't just want to put everything that you have into purchasing a home and then just be like, okay, well, if I have an emergency, I have nothing left. So be smart, rather buy a smaller house than a big house. And of course, this is where I come into play as well, along with the lender. And I am super thorough. I'm going to be the one that's going to be like the awakening, you know, regardless of how many homes you've bought. Everybody can slip into that, well, but we can afford it. But do you actually need to buy such an expensive home? So with that in mind, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you are never going to make these 5 mistakes, especially not on my watch. With our company, we are super passionate about giving you great information. So thanks again for watching, and please click on the videos that we have here. We have a lot of great videos out there for you, and comment below if you have any idea or anything else that you think I haven't touched in this video. Thanks for watching, and cheers till the next video.